Thank you, sir. May I now call upon Mr. Aniruddha Lahiri, former President BCCI, current President of Rising Asia Foundation and the convener of the summit, to set the context for the proceedings today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all of you are comfortable and ready to participate in this in today's discussions. We all know, ladies and gentlemen, that the contemporary world is marked by heightened geopolitical tensions. Tensions of all kinds, supply chain disruptions, regional conflicts, for example, Russia, Ukraine, the Middle East instability which continues, and increasing rivalry between major powers, particularly the US and China, the two big successful nations, and most recently, that between China and Japan over the issue of Taiwan. These shifts, as you have all realized, are shaping the global trade, security, actually reshaping global trade, security architecture, and technological cooperation between the nations. At the same time, climate change, energy insecurity, and reconfiguration of global institutions further add to this volatility. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that the US's humongous debt will soon add to the complexity. At least the methods which are proposed to be employed to resolve this issue, which is going to shake the world. My task today, ladies and gentlemen, is to share with you the context for today's discussions, which is to share with you ideas and explore how India can leverage the current geopolitical turbulence. Now, what are we seeking? Well, what are we, this leveraging, our ability to leverage the current turbulence, political turbulence. Why? First, it is to strengthen our global economic and political position in the world, which is already happening to some extent. Second is to attract strategic investments. And I would say the low-hanging fruit here is going to come out of the supply chain realignments. We must assert leadership in multilateral platforms and build resilience through self-reliance and diversified partnerships, which is also, we are seeing the beginnings of it now. Now, the challenge therefore is to be able to not just look at these look at the problems that we are going through, but actually to explore how we can turn this adversity or adverse condition into opportunities. That is, to explore the options is what we are going to discuss today. Now, the key opportunities for India, as I mentioned earlier, is going to come through realignment of supply chains. China plus one strategy. We have now an opportunity to seek leadership in the global south. Energy security and green transition are another two possibilities that India can leverage. Digital leadership and tech diplomacy, by which I mean the modern diplomatic practice focused on managing international relations centered around technology. And of course, defense and strategic autonomy, which is what to do and when to do. Now, all this doesn't come easily, and therefore there are many challenges that have to be addressed. Now, while we do this during our discussions today, let me just point out some of the, I would say, the key challenges. I think the first important thing is balancing relations with conflicting global actors. Example, between US and Russia, China and the West of the world. Strengthening the institutional capacity and internal cohesion to match international expectations from us. In ensuring domestic reforms keep pace with global expectations, that is logistics, judiciary, skill development, and so on and so forth. And allocation of funds, which is, I think, another very important area, which is allocation of funds for research, which includes agriculture, technology, which is AI mainly, and pharmaceuticals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while I expect a comprehensive set of recommendations to emerge from our discussions over the day, I would like to mention a few broad strategic points, which are: expand regional influence by deepening ties with ASEAN, Africa, and Latin America. Institutionalize India-led multilateralism with forums like Voice of Global South Summit. Accelerate infrastructure and logistics to become a global manufacturing hub. But when I say a global manufacturing hub, I'm talking about high technology manufacturing hub. And then we must invest in strategic technologies, such as in manufacturing semiconductors, making use of them, AI, defense technology, and how? Well, via public-private partnerships and skill development, education, STEM in particular. Yeah. And lastly, maintain strategic balance through multipolar diplomacy and calibrated engagement with all major powers. So now to conclude, I personally feel that India's moment on the world stage has arrived. I'm sure there will be disagreements, but that is something that we leave for the day, for the rest of the day. And this is not by default. This moment has arrived. That's not by default, but by deliberate diplomatic, economic, and strategic effort. The current political instability, while complex, offers India an historic opportunity, not which comes very often, to reshape its role as a rule shaper rather than a rule taker. Through pragmatic policies, visionary leadership, and robust partnerships, India can transform the current global challenges into a pathway for sustainable, secure, and inclusive growth. That, ladies and gentlemen, I think is a summary of what we should expect from the summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request